next weekend, Monaco. Finally going to make it. Frank Buglioni fighting an undefeated fighter once again. How's preparation been?
Yeah, you know, Frank is always meticulous in his approach, very professional. He's such an easy fighter for me to train because he practically does everything which, away from the actual boxing side of it. He takes care of his nutrition, strength and conditioning. All I do, that gives me more time to just focus more on his boxing. So no, he's such an easy guy to train, you know. He's got a very good temperament in the gym, very professional, very respectful, and just an immaculate person. I've probably done over 100 interviews about Frank Buglioni, and the word that's consistent is that his professionalism and his being an immaculate individual in every sense. So no, preparation for this fight has gone really well, and as usual, we've left no stone unturned. Again, he's fighting another unbeaten fighter. All through his career, all he's done is fight unbeaten fighters. You know, obviously there's massive risks when you do such a thing. But you know what? If you want to be the best, you've got to be able to fight the best, and that's basically how his mentality, the fighter, and also I happen to have the same mentality. Yeah, we're in this to fight the best.
Talking about preparation in the socials, I saw a couple of interesting sparring partners, quality, world-class sparring partners.
Yeah.
James DeGill, for example. How was sparring? How did sparring go with?
Sparring. We sparred numerous opposition at all different levels, like you said, from world level to domestic level. You have to. Everyone brings something to the table. Even the domestic fighters that we sparred here brought something different to the table. So you have to basically get all those different styles to come in. So to aid you, that on the fight now, where we believe there's nothing our opponent, he's a southpaw, there's nothing that our opponent will bring that Frank wouldn't have experienced through having all different sparring partners here. There's all like 3/4 different types of southpaws, and I believe during the preparation we've encountered every trick a southpaw possesses. All the sparring partners we have, they've all brought something to the table basically. So no, we've prepared really well, and yeah, it sparred really well. And, but we believe we've done everything that's going to aid us, Frank the fighter, to get his victory on the 24th of November in Monaco.
And you're fighting kind of on a known quantity to people to the Western world, the Chinese guy, undefeated Olympian, 2012 Olympian.
Yeah, that's right.
What can you tell us about this guy?
Obviously, again, when we looked him up, it turns out he participated in the 2012 Olympics in London. And he's Chinese, 6'2", which is unusual. He's very tall for the weight as well. He's undefeated. Obviously, you respect every opponent, but you have to take this guy very serious. There's a reason why he's undefeated, because he's very good. And he's also an Olympian, means he's very well schooled. He does all the fundamentals. All his fundamentals are very, very good. And yeah, it's although Frank is more experienced than him as a professional, but the guy has pedigree, so we have to recognize and respect that, which we have. So we haven't not trained, because Frank is boxed at a much higher level than this chap. And I really truly believe, like I always do, I don't know if you've ever known me not to believe. Yeah, if I didn't believe we could beat this guy, my guy wouldn't be getting on the plane and going all the way to Monaco to fight this guy. So no, I believe we're going to have victory. A well-due victory, a well-due win. As you know, we were unsuccessful in Frank's attempt to keep the British title against Kevin Johnson. We lost. It didn't go our way, that fight, as you know. Frank's won another fight since then. Went under the sort of radar. He's coming off the back of a win against Emmanuel Fuezo, and so he's mentally and physically ready to do what's necessary on the 24th.
Okay. Well, all the best for next weekend in Monaco. So when would you be heading to Monaco?
A week from today.
Okay.
A week from tomorrow. My apologies.
Okay. Okay.
A week from tomorrow.
Okay. Enough time to acclimatise the little bits because it's the same time zone.
Same time zone and everything. Just basically go through the formalities prior leading to it's a championship fight. There's a belt on the line. IBF International. So you know, we're going there to do a number and take another unbeaten scalp, which Frank is very good at doing.
I mean, talking about having a boxer who does everything right outside you training them, you know, with the nutrition and resting right. You have another fighter which is known to not of being that sort of disciplined as like, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know who
Mr. Chisora.
Yeah.
In his next fight, it seems like David Haye is putting upon himself to make sure everything is right in that department. Is that so? Is that how you see it?
Well, most definitely. Like, you know, I'm a very honest man in the sense that a lot of trainers wouldn't have welcomed the inclusion of Mr. Haye through, I would say, being insecure. I'm a very confident man in my ability. I know what my strengths are as a coach. I know what I've always maintained. I don't manage any of my fighters. And I've always maintained, the reason being, not because I can't manage, because the day where I say, right, I'm gonna stop being a trainer, I'm gonna be a manager, then I'll put a manager's hat on. Right now I'm wearing a trainer's hat. That's my mentality. So that's why when my fighter, when he said to me, I'm thinking of getting David Haye, who, as you know, we have history with David Haye, to manage him, it was a shock to me initially, purely because of the history we have with Mr. David Haye. In fact, to the degree I was angry, temporarily angry, and that anger lasted for about 2 minutes, which I saw sense. I thought, hold on a minute, because you could have given me a million guesses and I wouldn't have came up with that idea or that name. When I digested it, I said, you know what, Derek, if you ask Mr. Haye and he agrees to do this, because it would be a shock to Haye as well when Derek approached him. And you know what? It's been how many weeks now? 5 weeks, 6 weeks since this happened. Every day it's becoming more and more clearer that was a very, 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 very masterstroke, a genius move by Derek Chisora. I have to salute him because Mr. Haye, when you're honest and admit it to yourself, it brings an awful lot to Derek Chisora right now, and where Derek is at his career right now. And we've always fallen short at winning the world title. Not because I'm not a good coach as a boxer, a boxing trainer, or Derek is not a good fighter. Derek's a tremendous fighter. But I always knew there was something why we've always fallen short. We have fought for world titles, yeah? And we've not won them. We have fought big fights and we haven't won them. There's always a reason for that. It's nothing to do with the boxing. Derek Chisora can fight. Well documented, he can fight. But there's more than, if you go through all the world champions in history, there's more to it than just having the fight. There's more to it. And I believe with what Haye brings to the table, all the expertise, Mr. Haye has been there, he's done it at 2 different weight categories. Very hard to do, to win an undisputed. He was the last undisputed cruiserweight champion, right? He did it in cruiserweight. Then he stepped up, he said, I'm going to become a heavyweight champion, and guess what? He did it. Okay? And so he has an infrastructure and the experience in place to be able to facilitate and then get us, Derek as a boxer, us as an outfit, to get us over the line, which I think we deserve. The amount of effort that I have put in as a trainer, the amount of effort Derek Chisora has put in as a fighter, I think would be unforgiven if Derek Chisora in his career doesn't lift a version of the world title. And that's my opinion. And so I've embraced it, welcome it, and I'm really, really delighted. I'm very happy.
Okay. So you're still part of training him. Obviously, we've seen you in the press conference and things like that.
Most definitely. I am the boxing coach. Yeah, and David Haye is the manager, a proper 360-degree circumference service he provides.
So what does he provide for Derek apart from obviously negotiating the deals? Where
do I start? You know, it's easy. It's a loosely used word to call yourself a manager. There's so many areas that a manager can be instrumental. Yeah, where do I start? We haven't got enough time to read every. Yeah. There's so many managers out there, but there's all different levels of management. There's all different types of management. It's one word, but that word, I'm afraid, is loosely used. But people could easily run away and say, I'm a manager. Yeah? Ask a lot of boxers, ask 95% of boxers, what does your manager do for you? List it out. And it wouldn't exceed two areas. Whereas Mr. Haye will probably cover, if you listed down everything it brings to the table, you're probably looking at about 10-12 areas. It's very beneficial for his fighter, David Chisora. And you asked me about the coaching. No, I'm still the coach. Till the manager says, you're not the coach. Yeah? But I've been with my guy long enough now. If Mr. Haye believes I'm not the right coach for Mr. Chisora, he's the type of guy he will replace me and go and find another coach. But he believes, based on conversations we've had, based on my achievements. I mean, like I said, all we've fallen short at is to win a world title, which I believe, if now, I'm not going to go into details, if all the things that's been implemented by Mr. Haye now, if we carry it out, if the fighter carries it out, then I predict right here, in fact, you know, this is the first person I'm giving this interview to. I predict on your network, Mr. T Boxing, yeah? Is that?
Yes, Uncut T Boxing.
I predict exclusive that Mr. Chisora, within the next 18 months, 12 to 18 months, will be a world champion, heavyweight world champion. Yes, you heard it here first.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Okay. In the interview with IFL TV yesterday, I was watching, and David Haye was with Chisora in one of those interviews, and he said even when you came to his gym and see what Derek was doing, you was like to him, wow, is this the same Derek? I mean, you know, with David Haye sometimes you don't know whether he's like, you know, bending the truth or exaggerating a little bit. Is that true when you what you've seen so far with Derek? Is there improvements you've seen?
Like I said, no, the boxing will always be the boxing, but there's other areas which he's improved immensely, which would then aid him to become that fighter that always knew, yeah, that always knew that I was training, yeah. They've done a few things, tweaks, not to do with the boxing, yeah, away from the boxing, that should aid you to become that polished fighter that I've always wanted him to be. Yeah, I'm not that arrogant and that selfish and that ignorant to dismiss that, what they bring to the table. It's there, it's going to be evident. People will see the evidence of it on the 22nd of December at the O2, when we finally got our man in the ring, Mr. Dillian White. We finally got him. Yeah, he didn't want to have this fight, and that's a fact. He didn't want to have this fight, but he's found himself with very limited options, yeah, he had no choice but to fight Derek Chisora. He didn't want this fight. This is not his chosen fight, for many reasons. In his defense, if I was him, I wouldn't have the fight. Prior to when your options run out, then you have to have the fight. Yeah, there's nowhere to go for him. Yeah, and so we're delighted that he's finally agreed to have this fight.
It's funny how boxing does a 360. It was a few months ago. David Haye was campaigning for Joe Joyce to fight your guy. And we've only found out yesterday. Joe Joyce did a statement on his Instagram saying he's parted ways with David Haye on a friendly thing. What can you tell me? Can you tell me anything about that situation?
Apart from what you read,
yeah.
I wasn't a part of that setup.
Yeah.
The Joe Joyce setup. Obviously, like you said, how things change all the time in boxing. Things change all the time. The demographics changes all the time, and the timing of it as well. I'm sure when Derek approached David Haye, he didn't know that Joe Joyce was parting with Haymaker. But it just shows you, man. Yeah, not so long ago, Haye was pushing for Chisora to face Joe Joyce, and that was before the Takam fight. And now, seeing what he has seen, because everybody was writing Derek off, not me. Everybody was writing Derek off. Yeah, so Haye himself is pleasantly surprised, thinking, my goodness, no, we were all wrong in writing your guy off. I said, I know that. Yeah, and anyway, I won't go in any further except for all is good. All is good.
So the changing moment was that night when that right hand came over and landed on the side of Takam's head.
Yeah, people were always homing on just on the right hand. Yes, that was the finishing shot. That's Derek Chisora's money shot, which he has perfected. Bad news for everybody. Bad news for all the other heavyweights, because for years and years he's been chucking that shot. For years and years, he's only just mastered what we do in practice to be able to perfect that shot. He's now perfected it, so it's bad news, I'm afraid, for all the other fellow heavyweights, because he's now got the concept of that right hand, when to chuck it and how to chuck it. Yeah, he's always had that shot. It's not a new shot for him, but he's only just perfected it. So there was other things going on during the Takam fight, which a lot of people would choose to miss. We were apparently, according to Dylan White, we were getting beaten up before we landed the right hand. I disagree. Takam was ahead on points, yes he was. But the plan was always to let Takam, it's a big risk to take, a bit like what Usyk did the other day. He let Tony Bellew have, it's almost like, I'll give you a head start because I know I've got a plan. And he believes in his plan, in his ability to execute his plan when it comes to it. With the Takam fight, we knew he's gonna come at, us. The idea was to tuck up, yeah? If you go and watch the fight again, and I'll challenge any of these haters to sit down with me and I'll tell them exactly what was happening. We suckered them in. We didn't want to fight him toe-to-toe in the middle of the ring because we knew he would probably be better than us in that department. The fight was not fought in the middle of the ring. 70% of the fight was fought Derek on the ropes. Yeah? But if you notice on that rope, we were riding the ropes, soaking, taking the sting out of the punches and throwing a couple of, I said to Derek, when you throw, don't throw more than 2 and maximum 3 punches in one succession. Yeah? Tuck up, look for the holes and pick them. Pop, pop, counters. Derek Chisora is not a known counter puncher, but he was counter punching in that fight. Go and watch it, right? And a lot of Takam's work was wasted on Derek Chisora's arms. We sapped him. Then when it was time to go in the middle of the ring and fight him, we took it to the middle of the ring and stopped him. So a lot of people don't understand boxing and strategies. For every fighter, you can't fight Derek is a comfort fighter, but for that fight, we chose to fight on the ropes for a reason.
In the video footage in America, I saw Eddie Hunt speaking to, what's that cheeseburger guy? He's fighting this weekend.
Oh, Jerome Miller.
Jerome Miller,
yeah,
yes.
Baby Miller.
Baby Miller.
Yeah, yeah. I like him. He's making me laugh.
Yeah.
He's a very funny guy.
Yeah, and in that
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, make no mistake about it. Yeah. Baby Miller is real. He can fight. Yeah? He can talk better than he can fight, but he can fight.
The reason why I brought up that topic was in that clip, I don't think many people had noticed, but I did. he's saying, yeah, he was explaining that Derek's fight against Tapcam. He said the thing about Derek, he doesn't believe that he's got the legs anymore. Really? So he found himself that's the reason we found himself sitting.
Everyone, you know, it takes a very clever man to play the fool. Yeah? Okay? Possum. Basically, that was a strategic move by us, but if he really believes Chisora's legs have gone, fantastic. You know what? I can't stop the brother believing what he sees. That's his interpretation of why he believes Derek hasn't got the legs. Fine. I hope you keep winning. I really mean this. I believe he's gonna win the WBA regular. I believe he's gonna beat.
Not Jerry Miller, it's Eddie Hearn that said that.
Eddie Hearn said that.
Yeah.
Derek's legs have gone.
Yeah, he seemed
really?
like it's
Right.
It wasn't Jerry Miller. He was just explaining the situation when Miller was there. But no, he didn't say. Baby Miller didn't say it. It was Eddie
my
Hearn.
apologies, Mr. Miller. But
yeah.
I wasn't being rude. I was just saying I can't say to the man that your observations, but I believe they're incorrect, because let's see if Derek's legs have gone in the next one. Yeah. Let's see if Derek's legs have gone in the Dillian White fight.
Okay.
Yeah, you've soon changed that opinion. Remember, we weren't supposed to win that fight. Derek was finished. That was going to be his last fight, according to the experts. Takan would be too much for him. Yeah, and we knew different, and we believed different. So everyone's entitled to their opinion. Who am I to say that they can't have the same way I have my opinion? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So, you know, if that's Eddie Hearn's our promoter, and I thank Eddie privately and I thank him publicly for the opportunities he's given my boy, because he gave us an opportunity in Monaco, Derek Chisora against Caballero, and we bombed miserably, yeah? And I personally phoned Eddie. I said, look, really apologize for that, because it was an opportunity and we didn't take it, and he brought another opportunity to us which we weren't gonna let go, yeah? And I thank him. I've thanked him privately, I'm thanking him publicly. Keep these opportunities coming. Yeah, my boy is ready, he's ready.
Talking about opportunities, obviously we all know now you've got a son who's involved in the heavyweight boxing. How is he, George?
Yeah, George, the future. Nah, George is good, man. He's a work in progress, you know. He's been around boxing all his life, and he's only natural that he's going to become a boxer. I didn't want him to be a boxer, but when I didn't need too much convincing. When he came of age, and he's good. He's good, and his name is the future, and in the future we will see.
What's next for him? Do you know when his next out?
Yeah, I want him out regularly. He wants to be out regularly, and hopefully we can get him on most of the shows that I'm involved with. Hopefully, privilege of being my son. I'm sure you do the same. I'm sure any other person who's in my position who has a son, and why not? And why not indeed?
Could we possibly see him on the undercard of Derek's fight against White?
I'm not at liberty to say at this point. Yeah,
okay.
because nothing's been agreed. So
okay.
We're going to try.
Yeah.
We're going to try. He's not got any God-given right because he's my son.
Yes.
He's going to be on these big shows because these are big shows. There's over established fighters who are in front of him, so we have to respect that. So, you know, I can only request, and if he gets on, he gets. If not, there are other bills he can be on. You know? Okay,
Don, well, thanks for your time once again.
Always a
and
pleasure.
Hopefully I'll catch you before you head out to Monaco. And all the best with that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I can see you signing up.